happens. Just comes at you. E3, man, just comes at you from nowhere. Hello, welcome back to GameSpot's continuing coverage of E3 2014. My name is Danny O'Dwyer, and we are here with Super Smash Brothers Brawl. I'm going to say this straight away. If you have any questions, get them on Twitter at Danny O'Dwyer right now, because I bet Corey here is going to have a lot of stuff to answer for. Corey, pleasure to see you, sir. You guys had a tournament yesterday.
Yeah.
Were you there?
Thank you. First of all, yeah, thank you for having us. We did have a tournament for Super Smash Brothers for Wii U yesterday. I got to, get away from here for about, what would I say, like maybe a half hour to check it out.
Okay.
It was awesome.
I saw a big old crowd of people.
The energy in that Nokia Theater was absolutely phenomenal.
What was the emphasis of that? Was it primarily as a just let players get their hands on it, or were you like taking feedback from people on character level balancing, or what?
A lot of it was just a celebration of the fans. You know, we invited 16 of the most talented Super Smash Brothers players from around the world, and really got to see how these competitive players getting their hands on the new game for the very first time, and even seeing them play as new characters. We had Mega Man, we had
Did you have Pac-Man?
Pac-Man, of course, as a lot of fans noticed last night, was announced as a new playable character.
Yeah.
And how rad is it that we now have Pac-Man, Mega Man, Sonic, and Mario all
Finally, the old crew is back together. It's like a buddy comedy, except everyone beats the crap out of each other.
Like, if you would have told me that that was a possibility when I was a kid, like, I would have needed new pants. Like,
And Super Smash Brothers is also available for folks in North America right now to play, is that right?
So, yeah, we're actually doing a special event partnering with Best Buy. So, today, actually Wednesday, if you go to a certain Best Buys, we've got over 100 locations in North America. You can go to e3.nintendo.com to check it out. But from 4 to 9, we've got Super Smash Brothers for Wii U playable. I believe we've got the Nintendo 3DS version there. For folks that actually pre-order the game, you're going to receive a special gold coin as well. It's collector's gold coin. If you're not able to make it out today, we're also going to be doing the event on Saturday as well. So really cool event for fans that can't be here at E3. You can still have an opportunity to get your hands on.
Sweet. I want to talk a little about the gameplay of Super Smash Bros. I'll put my hand on heart. I'm not a massive player of it. I have a bunch of friends who are huge fans of it, and I've watched a lot of them play. What I remember a lot of was the Melee, the GameCube version we used to play a lot of. And that seems to be, I was at an event in San Francisco last week where there was a big Super Smash Bros. Tournament on.
Right.
And that seemed to be still what people are playing. Brawl never really sort of broke in there with that crowd. And a lot of people say it's because there was an element of randomness or luck to the fighting. It seems like you guys are tightening up on that stuff, making it more like Melee. Yeah,
one thing that we announced in a Super Smash Brothers Nintendo Direct actually is Mr. Sakurai has he's basically broken the online down into like for glory and for fun. So if you're the type of player that wants to play with no items and on a Final Destination type map, you're going to be able to do that. But if you just want to go online, the Smash Brothers series is great because it does appeal to the casual Nintendo fans, but the most hardcore as well. So both kind of groups will be able to find a lot of fun to be had.
Do you have any like specifics on that sort of stuff? I know like sort of like the infinite punching stuff has been rounded off, like combos seem to end and they get pushed apart and whatnot.
It's it's all going to depend on the character. Right now we're still playing a lot with the characters, learning the characters even internally, but we're definitely trying our best to every character is going to have a different feel, but we certainly don't want one character to just be like, oh my gosh, like everyone's going to be Fox on Final Destination, something like that.
How's Pac-Man going to work? He hasn't even got legs.
He does have legs. We're using the version of Pac-Man from Pac-Land, so it's his final smash that he actually turns 2D.
The family favorite version.
We actually did bring by the both versions if we want to see a little bit of gameplay from the Nintendo 3DS version.
We got some gameplay. Let's throw it up.
So one thing we wanted to talk about the Nintendo 3DS version is it's got a game mode specific to it called Smash Run. Not available in the Wii U version. And this mode, basically, you're going to have 5 minutes to run through this giant labyrinth, powering up your character, boosting your stats like speed, jumping. And it's one of the cool things is if you ended up choosing a slower character like Bowser, you could collect speed throughout the Smash Run. And it's going to culminate this mode after 5 minutes of playing in this final battle. So all of these stat boosts will then take into account. So here we actually chose Greninja one of the brand new playable characters you may know from Pokemon X, Pokemon Y, kind of the final evolution of Froakie.
Beating up on some Koopas here.
Yeah, and this is what we're seeing is, again, the objective. You see the timer in the upper right. There's no right or wrong way to go. You're just trying to move as quickly as possible, beating up baddies. You're seeing a few of those collectible basically boosts that she's getting, or that we're getting here. And on the bottom screen, you can just see how large this map is in Smash Run. You can see where some of our opponents are. Of course, we're playing against CPUs, but when the game comes out, you'll be able to play with other friends.
So are you just trying to accrue as many of those power-ups as possible?
Exactly.
Okay.
That is really the only objective here. We've kind of gone back to the other screen now, where you're able to see on the bottom screen some of these equipable items. So all those 6 icons there, we can tap on the touchscreen to perform an action. You've got like a meteor shower, which would bring down the fire on your enemies right here. And for me, I like to use these as quickly as possible because you're gonna boost up your character quicker, and those stats will automatically go to your character. And you're not able to take these items into the final battle.
Yeah.
As you play the game, continue to play the game, you're going to be unlocking more equipable items. So you can actually customize that loadout to your liking.
Cool. I like it. It's almost like the start of a Dota match when you're like setting up you're like farming for resources and setting up your character.
Exactly.
And then it all ends in one big battle. If we've got some gameplay of the Wii U version, that'd be amazing. Because we've got a lot of questions. I'm gonna get these out of the way, Corey.
Okay.
Because I'm sure people are gonna ask you this stuff all the time.
Sure.
Characters. Donkey Kong. Is Donkey Kong in it?
Donkey Kong. We've got DK.
DK's in it. All right. Solid Snake.
We have not announced Solid Snake.
That's in the question mark area, no problem. What happens when Kirby eats Pac-Man? Asks Luis.
Oh, that's a good question. I'm curious to know that. We did unveil him last night. There's a trailer out there, but I don't think we saw Kirby inhale Pac-Man.
I want to talk to you about the controller as well that's recently been announced. That must be a real get for you, because a lot of people still love playing Smash Bros. On. If they had the option, would probably go for
I have
GameCube controller.
Such fond memories of playing. Not only do I have fond memories of playing Super Smash Bros. Melee, but we're still playing it internally at Nintendo. So to be able to still use that controller, it still feels great. It almost like melts in my hands. But it's really great. We're going to be, of course, selling that when that comes out with the GameCube adapter.
Excellent. Do you think you're going to do it as a bundle?
No announcements on that yet, but you never know.
Cool. I want to talk a little bit about the character customization stuff as well. This seems pretty interesting. You can pick a character, but then perhaps give them traits with items that they might not necessarily have. Yeah.
So you'll be able to certain characters will have Mario might have 3 fireballs. He might have the regular fireball he throws and like a super fireball. You can actually choose and customize which moveset you want him to use.
Okay.
But if you were then playing online, you might be like constricted to that normal loadout.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Well, it looks like we got about 1 more minute in the Smash Run here, but one thing I did want to point out was that we got into a challenge room earlier. So each time you're playing Smash Run, you are going to, it's going to be completely random. The enemy placements are random, these challenge rooms are random, and you might have some sort of challenge, like there we were, previously we were breaking this like icicle apart.
Yeah.
Here you've got like this giant enemy. Unfortunately, we've used up all of our like power bombs and meteor showers. So
that thing looks messed up. What is that?
He looks like an enemy from Kid Icarus Uprising.
Is that the level we're in at the moment as well? I'm assuming a lot of these arenas are also based. Are they based specifically on Smash Brothers maps or on just the tile sets?
So this is just a map that's just unique to Super Smash Brothers for Nintendo 3DS, and it's one giant map. But as we saw earlier when we checked it out, like, there's all these different parts of the map. There's no way you're going to be able to explore the entire thing in one go.
Yeah.
So if you were a character like Kirby, you might want to like have easier access to higher areas. But there are also random events that take place that you'll see like a news flash come upon the bottom screen. It'll say like, there's a big boss that you can fight in the lower area, and then you can either choose to go there or not. And if you did go take that boss on, you beat him, you would get a lot of power-ups. Now here we've got a few seconds left. We're going to see our results screen. So you can see on the bottom already some of our boosts. But these are all of the stats. We got speed and special particularly we did well in.
Excellent.
So Greninja's already a fast character. We are going to be ridiculously fast now. And
is this one round or?
This is still part of the same Smash run.
Yeah,
and
but is this final battle? Is
yes.
that just it's single
it's
round
one
elimination?
round,
all right.
and it's always a random rule set as well. Right
Okay.
now we're playing traditional Smash rules, which is just as many KOs as possible. But some of the rules will change on you. Like you might get a Smash a battle that ends with like everybody has reflectors on them, so things bounce off of everybody, or everyone is like super mushrooms, so really giant. We are playing the course Rainbow Road for Mario Kart 7. Yep. And one thing to mention about that as well, the Nintendo 3DS version does feature stages from the portable systems. So, you'll be seeing levels like based off of like Nintendogs plus Cats or The Legend of Zelda Spirit Tracks, for example. Yeah. I love the Shy Guys here that come through as well.
All right, who's going to win? Calling it. I'm going to guess the player is going to win.
I'm pulling for us. I'm pulling for Greninja. Little Mac is really fun, too. Of course, you're seeing Little Mac above his character. He's got this special KO meter that if you fill up, he gets a special KO opportunity.
Time up. I like it. You guys are, I guess the problem with any sort of series that has this much fandom behind it is that you either sort of try and placate the fans as much as possible, but then if you do that, you might do it at the detriment of new people who are trying to get into it. This seems like a mode that might help, especially portables, which tend to have a lot of younger players on them. Yeah. Might help them get into it.
And you can take Super Smash Brothers anywhere you go.
Oh, man.
Which is amazing.
The bathroom, confirmed.
Bathroom
Swimming
confirmed.
pool.
Just be careful for the water.
I want to get all the headlines here. All right, great. Because this bathroom upstairs is awful. We're in the E3 bathrooms, no good. Maybe that's why. Maybe because they've all got early access to Smash Brothers and all sitting down there on their asses doing it. We've got a bunch of questions coming in. First of all, though, I want to ask about the Amiibo stuff.
Yes.
So Nintendo announced they're entering the sort of toys to life genre, or whatever you want to call it. This idea of what we've seen with Skylanders and Disney Infinity before as well.
Right.
So you guys seem to be pretty well tied into what they want to do with Amiibo. Can you just talk a little bit about that for folks who mightn't have seen it?
Yeah. So if you kind of missed the announcement, Amiibo are the characters that the figures that we're going to be releasing at the same time as Super Smash Brothers for Wii U. Now these figures, of course, will have like Mario. We're going to have a lot of different characters, and we'll have figures for other franchises and games. They'll also work with other games, but with Super Smash Brothers for Wii U, these characters or these figures will allow you to basically you'll be able to level up with these characters. So say I bought a Mario Amiibo. I could have my Amiibo character, place him on the gamepad screen. I could have him fight you as a human player.
Excellent.
And you're fighting against mine. Let's say you like to dodge all the time, or put up your shield, and it's really annoying. My character, the Amiibo character, can actually learn by playing you that you always like match after match. It's like, oh yeah, like really likes to Danny really likes to use the shield. He's learning, and so the more he plays you, he's going to start to try to grab you more and throw you. You'll also be able to level those characters up, level your Amiibos up to level 50.
Okay.
And each one is going to be very different. So we're really, really excited about these coming out. We haven't announced the final lineup of the characters yet.
Presumably it won't be every single character that's in Smash Brothers.
Yeah, I don't know the exact list. I know that Mr. Sakurai joked yesterday, of course, the director of the game, that he advised everyone, you may want to collect your favorite characters, but he himself is going to get them all, and I'll probably get them all as well. Maybe just deduct them out of my paycheck.
Do you expect any sort of cross-play between other franchises? Because obviously Amiibo is not something that's just unique to Smash Bros. Do you think that Amiibos for other games, perhaps there might be some, in the future, some interconnectivity with Smash Brothers for the Wii U? We've
announced that Amiibo figures will also be compatible with Mario Kart 8, Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, which is a game we just announced. There's a few other games that we've announced its compatibility with as well. Excellent. So we look forward to sharing a lot more details soon.
Cool. We're looking at the Wii U version here as well. Just talk us through what's going on here. I don't know. You know what? Actually, talk this through for somebody who has never seen Smash Bros. Before, because I know there's at least a handful of people who have never seen this before.
Yeah. So. Yeah, the basic rules of Super Smash Bros. Are pretty simple. You want to knock your opponent out as many times as possible off the platform. And all of those percentages that you see down there, everybody starts out with 0. As you pummel people, that percentage goes higher. Your hits start making people fly further. So it's definitely not your traditional fighting game at all. More of this, character action party style game. And the controls themselves are really simple to get into. You've just got the jump button. You've got 2 attack buttons. So anybody can jump right in and start having some success immediately. But it does have, of course, that depth that hardcore tournament players can really enjoy. I still haven't mastered Melee, and I've been playing it for God knows how long, right?
When you're designing AI for those individual characters as well, because like in traditional fighting games, you tend to know at different levels of difficulty how a character is going to act. Their character themselves is also how they tend to fight. Smash Brothers for me is a game that has always been about multiplayer, so when you're playing Pikachu, you're never really playing Pikachu, you're playing somebody who's playing as Pikachu. So when you're making the AI, the computer characters for those characters, do you try and make it so that Pikachu fights a certain way so that players learn how to fight against him that way, or do you try and create it random so perhaps AI will play Pikachu one way in one game and then in a different game will use him differently?
Are you saying like in different Super Smash Brothers games, like in Brawl, he might play
specifically in this, like from game to game, does Pikachu fight similarly?
Okay. Gotcha.
Or match to match, rather, I should say.
Yeah, there is, the customization options in this game are absolutely ridiculous, partly because Mr. Sakurai loves to give players as many options as possible. That said, before matches start, you're able to choose things like difficulty. I think we've got like level 1 to 9 at least to choose. So depending on what difficulty you choose, they might use a little bit more one move or the other.
Yeah.
But in general, you never know exactly what Pikachu is going to do. He's not necessarily always going to use his down B, lightning attack, for example.
I got some more questions coming in. Joshua O'Kelly's asking, obviously this is a game that will have a legacy. This isn't a flash in the pan. People will most likely, or at least you guys hope, will be playing this game for months and years to come. In terms of patches and post-release, just ensuring that sort of everything's working properly, addressing balancing issues that the community might have. Are you guys preparing to be doing that sort of stuff?
I don't think there's been any discussion really about that yet, but that being said, we've got, to give one example, Pikmin 3, right, came out last August, and just last week we announced a brand new patch that added a new control scheme. So players that haven't played Pikmin 3 or maybe even have are now able to play the game off TV with touchscreen controls using the stylus only. So, we definitely have the ability to go in and add features and things like that.
And then what about adding to the game via either free content or paid for DLC? Are you going to do some of that in the legacy of it?
Nothing to announce at this time, but certainly that is something that I'm sure could be a possibility.
Yeah, and I'm sure the internet will probably tell you what type of characters they want to have in it. How close are you guys away from release at this stage? It's coming out this year.
We've got the 2 titles, right? We've got Super Smash Bros. For 3DS and Super Smash Bros. For Wii U. We're going to be launching the Nintendo 3DS version first on October 3rd.
All right, so not too far away.
And then we've got the Wii U version launching just after, in time for the holidays.
Cool.
And so we're definitely, you're going to be able to, Mr. Sakurai again announced that you will be able to kind of move characters from one to the other, so there is going to be some functionality where you're going to be able to maybe be practicing on the Nintendo 3DS version, maybe building some characters up and somehow having some interactivity.
Yeah, and then taking them around with your Amiibo down to your buddy's house or something.
Exactly.
The Wii U obviously has had a little bit of not a little bit, it's had a hard time at retail, perhaps not doing as well as Nintendo might like and some Nintendo fans might like as well. Is that a concern with you guys, or do you think the folks who are into Super Smash Brothers have already got one, or do you think perhaps this will actually help sell more consoles?
I definitely have a lot of friends who are ridiculously excited for Mario Kart 8, which just launched, and they if they hadn't had one, they just picked one up. So we certainly know that Mario Kart 8 and Super Smash Brothers are huge, huge titles for us. But with the addition of upcoming games like Hyrule Warriors coming in September, Bayonetta 2 coming soon, coming very soon as well, that we're going to have, if you don't have a Wii U yet, this year is a great, I mean, right now is a great time to buy one. Even with Mario Kart 8, I know a lot of folks have picked one up because there's a free software deal. If you buy Mario Kart 8, register it on Club Nintendo, you can get a free digital download of one of 4 games.
Oh, so, excellent. So the Invitational was on yesterday. I think it was just over in LA Live. Is that right?
That's correct, yep.
This is one of the most enduring communities in Nintendo's history, which is some might find surprising considering this game. I remember when I first saw it all those years back, it almost looked like a throwaway, like this is just some sort of crazy party game. Let's see what happens. Have you guys ever do you have much of a hold on that community in terms of setting up events yourself? When you look at games like the modern day fighting game community, for instance, is like event spaces there are massive. When you look at stuff like the international and whatnot, like how much of a hold on the Super Smash Brothers community do Nintendo have, and is it something that you guys are looking into maybe participating in more directly?
Yeah, that's a really good question. And as you mentioned, going back to Super Smash Brothers Brawl, even Melee, it's not a space we've been traditionally in. So with the tournament that we did yesterday, I'm sure we're really going to look at that. I already, it's just being there last night. It's like it was so exciting to be a part of that, even just as an attendee at the back.
Do you tend to get that much cosplay at normal? I saw a lot of cosplay happen.
The one thing I love, even me, I've actually dressed as a Nintendo character before, believe it or not.
I did a Half-Life 2 zombie once, so.
I was once a blue Pikmin.
Nice.
But
that's great.
The one thing I love, our fans, me included, are just very passionate about our franchises. So it's always just puts a smile on my face whenever I see someone, dressed as Ness, dressed as even Mega Man yesterday. We had people out there with like Pac-Man signs. They wanted to see Pac-Man in the game, and we finally can announce it. So
how important is it to you guys that this becomes the game of choice for the Smash Brothers fighting game community?
It's a good question. That's another good question. In yesterday's roundtable, Mr. Sakurai he made a small comment that he would really like, it's kind of one of his personal goals to make this one of the greatest character games of all time, where you're bringing in all of these iconic characters together. So, with the announcement of Pac-Man again, I'm super pumped.
Yeah. Are you guys going to be, I'm assuming, dripping new characters out there the whole way up to release?
I think it's safe to say that we have not seen the full roster yet.
How many have you announced so far?
I believe yesterday when I was looking at the roster on screen, there were 33 that we had announced so far. And that's, it's kind of misleading because we had Mii characters taking up one tile, but Mii characters actually represents 3 different play styles, because you've got the brawler, you've got the sword fighter, and you've got the gunner. And then you've got 36 customizable moves in between the Mii characters. So, there's already a ton of characters.
Why is there a soccer ball happening in this level?
Soccer ball is a great item.
Football for those of our European sorry.
There are a lot of fun items in the game. You've got items like the hammer, which we saw a second ago from the original Donkey Kong. It's been in all of the Smash Brothers games. You've got new items. You've got the final Smash Balls as well, or the Smash Balls.
Got Star. What are they? Starlet? Star? God, it's been a while since I played Mario Galaxy.
The Star Wand there.
There you go. Got that crate. Is Solid Snake in that crate? Is that a box? Has it got the orange
There's
written on
definitely
it?
something fun inside that crate. You never know, though, right? So I'm the type of person that always goes for the crate. Probably why I'm not maybe the best Smash player, because I'm just always easily distracted by shiny objects. I'm like, ooh, what is this?
The allure of the crate. What could be in it?
Love the assist trophies that we're seeing down there at the bottom.
In terms of the stages, obviously, a lot of fighting games, the stages it's just mere trimming. It's an atmosphere change. Smash Brothers, they are intrinsic to the competitiveness of every single game. How many stages do you guys have in this? How are you deep diving on returning favorites, or are you making a lot of new stuff?
You know, there's in terms of like returning favorites, you've got things like Battlefield. You're going to have things like Final Destination, absolutely, but we love adding, you know, maybe new stages based off of franchises that we know. Like this is of course based off Coliseum from Fire Emblem. There is a new Super Mario Brothers U course where Magic Koopa comes in and is dynamically changing the environment every few minutes. And again, going back to the differences between the Nintendo 3DS version, a lot of the stages in this game are going to be based off of console games versus the portable stages in the Nintendo 3DS game.
Excellent. Corey, I think that's about as much time as we have here. Super Smash Brothers coming out on the Wii U and 3DS. For the folks at home, can you just let them know again when those dates are?
So for the Wii U version, we've got Holiday, Nintendo 3DS, October 3rd. And if you want to get your hands on it today, check out Best Buy, e3.nintendo.com, and Saturday as well will be there.
Awesome. Corey, thank you very much for coming on GameSpot stage. Really appreciate it. Samsung stage continues. We've got Assassin's Creed Unity up next, so stick around.